Okay, I saw this article a couple days ago, and I've seen it been shared a couple times around. And back in the old days when I was trying to grow this channel and everything, and I thought, okay, I can do YouTube and everything before I, admitted to myself I failed at this thing. I would have just instantly picked up on this article and read it instantly to share it that day. And I've decided that I wasn't that type of person. I'm not going to do that type of things. You know what? Screw it. Let's see how many videos a dead channel can put out in a year. Because, this article, it speaks to me, at least the title does. Because it's about how, streaming services are bad, which I've been saying for years, and how digital is you don't own it. We are at the mercy of streaming services like Netflix. It's time to rekindle our relationship with DVD or Blu-ray. Cameron Williams, an opinion piece from abc.net.au, an Australian company. Here today, gone tomorrow. That's the bleak future your favorite films could face. For those who lived through the home entertainment boom in the 1980s, it may seem like a familiar progression. When VHS players became a mainstream in living rooms around the world, Disney realized they could drive supply and demand by simply locking away their classic films, aka the Disney Vault. VHS tapes would be available to buy for a short time before going back into the Disney Vault, seemingly never to be heard again. And guess what? It worked. 1 decade at a time, Disney films would be re-released. Sales skyrocketed. For those who don't know, it did work. Disney would say, "Oh, we do it because every 10 years a new batch of kids arrives, and they can have now the parents can buy those for them." But, it kind of works, especially if you add, special features in that, people will collect them. And there are Disney collectors in that will buy every version of the film they like, or buy every version of a Disney film. But that's not the point. Almost 40 years later, we're still seeing the same scenario playing out on our much larger screens. As the number of subscription-based streaming services in Australia nudge close to double digits, they're all creating their own digital vaults too. This is also true for America, because if you look on Disney Plus, they actually have a thing up on the thing saying when the movie will be taken away. So that, later that, they won't have the Christmas movies year round. So later that year, hey, we put the Christmas movies back on, watch them now, that type of thing, to try to boost the views. The ownership of your favorite films just became more important than ever. The state of pressing play. If you rely completely on streaming services to access films, prepare for a game of musical chairs. On Disney streaming services, Disney Plus, there are a category called Out of the Vault, which boosts a huge collection of films available to stream for the first time. It's an exciting prospect if you're keen to revisit Bedknobs and Broomsticks, The Love Bug, Steamboat Willie, where it all began. The subscription guarantees you access to most of Disney's library, but the big question is for how long. Disney may rotate their classics in and out of the vault, and their ownership of 20th Century Fox means another vast library of films is now at the mercy of the same policy. Which is actually true. And a side note, Disney has pooled movies, like they were going to put Fox films on big screens for special screening event things. Disney pooled those rights and people so they couldn't do it. Reportedly, cinemas around the world are now being told the Fox films are going in the vault. Everything from Alien and Princess Bride to Fight Club and All About Eve. Creating scarcity means the value of the subscription to a stream service increases because it's only place to access the collection of films. Disney Plus surpassed 10 million subscribers when it launched, and it's expected to get close to 2 million by the end of the year. They have a captive audience. Stay on brand. Films are also at the mercy of company's brand. Currently, Disney Plus is taking a family-friendly approach to ratings. Most titles capped at parental guidance PG. The PG approach means you're unlikely to see adult titles added to the service. Disney may decide to launch an After Dark version, but it was doubt means another subscription. Yeah, that's actually Hulu, but this is Australia. They don't have Hulu. In America, a majority of Disney-owned streaming service Hulu is the home of anything upwards to M ratings. Hulu hasn't launched in Australia yet, but it's a possibility if Disney decides to expand their streaming empire worldwide, the leverage of their ownership of Fox's back catalog. But again, it's another subscription to factor into your budget. Yeah, you can get Hulu commercials, which are a lot of fucking commercials. It's like having cable again for $3.99 in American money. So, like, what, $10 Australian? Rewriting history. Ready for things to get more complicated? Collecting films on a digital platform means they can be easily edited. Yes, this is true. Star Wars, the latest copies of editions, when they originally came out on digital a couple years, like 2 years ago, they didn't have the fanfare. Disney just added the fanfare. Disney will edit the things like, I know they're going to talk about Toy Story right here. They edited Toy Story 2, took out the scene of Tinky Pete wanting the, doing the casting couch joke. Because, everybody knows about that stuff back then. Everybody knew about it, nobody cared. And they're putting the stupid warnings in front of movies, and they're cutting out scenes, and, you're at the mercy of it when they can't come into your home and take your DVD. I mean, yes, if they reprint, like Toy Story 2 on 4K doesn't have that scene because they reprinted it. The Blu-ray they released a couple years ago does. That was before me too. So if you want to see that scene in HD, you have to go find the Blu-ray, or you have to own the Blu-ray. It's the only way. The scene's gone, and it's gone forever. The version of A New Hope on Disney Plus. Hey. The version of A New Hope on Disney Plus has an edit of Greedo and Han Solo scene. The bigger explosion has been added to the cover of Greedo. When Han shoots, he explains McClunky. The edit was made by Star Wars creator George Lucas prior to Disney Plus launch. That was made during the 4K conversion, and he was also because he was doing that for 3D, so that the 4K looks better for 3D, because, you upscale to 4K and you downscale again. And they had finished upscaling all 6, and they were in the middle of 3Ding 4 and 5 when he sold to Disney, and Disney said, fuck it, cancel it. That's why 2 and 3 were at places like Celebration California, but we never saw the 3D ever again. The alteration is tiny. Lucas has been tinkering with Star Wars for years, but it's an example of how quickly a film can be altered in digital circulation. Casting couch joke has been removed from Toy Story 2 in response to a discourse about sexual misconduct, which included the film's co-director, John Lasseter, who was accused of misconduct by staff and exited the studio. Disney has cultural depiction warnings on cartoons like Dumbo, following the lead of Warner Brothers, who issues warnings at the beginning of their old Looney Tunes episodes, say, the cartoon you are about to see are products of their time. Yeah, in other words, you special snowflake, you can't handle this. So don't sue us. Instead of just cutting the scene altogether like Disney was originally going to with the Aristocats and the Lady and the Tramp and Dumbo. Quality control can also lapse in the streaming space. Simpsons is available on Disney Plus, but it is uploaded in the wrong aspect ratio, which means visual jokes have been clipped. Disney are working on reverting the episodes back to their original 4:3 aspect ratios and update it mid-2020. If you own The Simpsons on DVD, though, you already have those aspect ratios, so if you really cared about it, or, recorded them off of TV, or bootleg, there's a risk of similar incidents happening with older films shot in different formats that don't match settings of widescreen, high-definition televisions. If streaming is the only way to watch a film, you must deal with the mistake until they can be fixed. If they bother to fix it at all. Like, they cut the scene in Muppets Christmas Carol when Love Is Gone for the theatrical version of the film. And if you have the VHS of it, you see it. If you have the Laserdisc, you see it. The DVD, you don't, because Disney cut it. Or the DVD, you get to choose one or the other. If it's the Blu-ray, they cut it. And on Disney Plus streaming services, they cut it again. The Society of Classics, all right. Netflix are releasing the latest films from filmmakers like Martin Scorsese with The Irishman, Noah Baumbach, Marriage Story, and Alfonso Cuarón, Roma. But it's slim pickings for any film made prior to the 1980s. In 2017, it was reported Netflix had only 30 films made in the 1970s in the film's library, and it was preachier than the further you push back. Netflix will continue to add more of their own original films because those titles will remain when the studio has withdrawn their films to compete against the streaming giant, which is true. There's been reports that the Marvel Netflix shows will actually be leaving Netflix and going over to Hulu when the 4 years is up, the contract. A lot of shows from Warner Brothers will probably be leaving Netflix after a certain amount of time. Like, I know Longmire is made by Netflix, but it was also made by Warner Brothers. And you look at the opening credits or the ending credits, you'll see what studio actually owns that film or movie, because it's like TV. Warner Brothers made Big Bang Theory, but CBS aired it. So it's not on CBS All Access or Paramount streaming service. It's going to be on HBO Max. If that makes any sense to you guys. The shift to replicate Netflix's success was inevitable once it disrupted the media landscape and amassed an essential 140 million subscribers worldwide. But Netflix has always had a succession plan for when competitors woke from their slumber. Soon, Netflix will be made up mostly of Netflix originals as more media companies withdraw their films to set up their own services. Sony may not, because Crackle is free. It's like, I just added a couple of Spider-Man films on Netflix, at least in America. So, Sony may leave their stuff on Netflix and allow them to pay for it. It's just, you're not going to have the sole streaming rights. We're going to have it on Crackle and also have it on Netflix. You may subscribe to a streaming services because they have all the James Bond films, but if the rights switch to another company, you may end up subscribing to another streaming services just to get your 007 fix. Easiest fix? Own it. Old school on demand. Stock up on your favorite films now while you're still able to buy them. With the growth of streaming services, there may come a time when films on disc go physical media heaven with VHS and CDs. DVD and Blu-ray sales are plummeting in Australia. In America, they're also plummeting, well, at least the Blu-ray, because DVD is still kicking. While streaming is expected to grow into a $4.6 billion industry by 2023. The production of physical media could halt if the media companies decide all roads must lead to streaming services. That way, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. But physical media has a habit of snapping back to popularity when the industry goes digital. The ultimate case study is in music industry, where vinyl now outsells CDs, despite the demise of music streaming services like Spotify. Sorry, that was a stupid thing because Pokemon Go is telling me that some Pokemon is around or whatever. Earlier this year, Kylie Monaghan had the #1 album on IRA charts track thanks to vinyl. Vinyl is reportedly back in a big way with sales setting around 20 million mark. It's expected to grow to 40 million by the end of 2020. Yeah, I don't own vinyl. I don't hear a difference. I've listened to the same album on MP3, CD, and vinyl. Nothing. And I want to be able to rip it so I can take the music with me. On the film front, video stores are coming back from the brink of extinction. E-Time Video and the latest video store in Carnus expected a 25 cent per increase in business over the year. Community cinema are becoming built-in garages where people screen titles from their from their collections. In Sydney, the Film Club store in Darlinghurst has been flooded with requests from film fans looking for titles not available to stream. The video store is not dead yet, at least in Australia. In America, we have Family Video, and it's only on the East Coast. The illusion of availability. Streaming services are a merger of for film lovers. When we think about films digitally, the possibilities are endless, but in the format with strictly limitations and standover media, whatever that word is. If you combine the libraries of all the streaming services, they only cover a small portion of film history and rely heavily on output of American film studios. Keep in mind, if you want them all, you must combine your subscription fees too, and that's costly. Once you own a physical copy of a film, handle with care, it can't be altered or uploaded in a wrong format. You can view your film anytime your length to strength and internet connection. You're not limited to strengths of your internet connection or hard drive space. Once purchased, it's yours forever. Long live physical media. Which is true, as I've said. And even if you buy it physically, things like Apple have proven that they will take it away. It's like video games. They will, like DuckTales on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 and whatever. You can't buy that game anymore. You have to steal it if you want it. Or you have to find a disc, which the price has gone up because now people know that people want it. So, even if you own it, take off the hard drive thing, take it off their servers, shut the servers down, gone, bye-bye, woo, see ya. And Fox, back when they were doing their 4-stick, they pooled Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer off Vudu, Ultraviolet, Amazon, everything. They just pulled the rights, told everybody you can't have it. But if you owned it, well, when we put it back on the format, you can have it again. You don't have to rebuy it. So, yeah, it's already happened, and digital books have gone through the worst, Kindle, because book publishers, oh, you can't have that. We want to sell it our way. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think down below, and have a good one. And as you can tell, I did say yo-ho, yo-ho. I have a massive collection. If you watch this thing, this stupid channel is mostly just me showing off my dumb collection. So, as I've said with when I showed off Marco Polo from Netflix, if they release it, I will buy it. If it's at the right price, I'm not going to pay more than $10 for a TV series or $15 on Blu-ray for a series. Unless I really love it and it's the only way to get it. It's like Gallivant. I had to spend $30 if I want to get it. Because that's the only way it's available. But if they're not going to make it available, well, the only way to actually own the damn thing and make sure it'll watch it whenever you want is the sale of 7 Seas. Companies know the easy way to sell it. Sell people the rights, give them what they want, and they'll buy it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. And as always, have a good one.